And I truly believe at the end of my life, or at the end of our life, what we want to know is to truly know that we can live a life that we're capable of living, that we be able to express who we are to the world, to others. There's some moment in our life that despite how much hard work, dedication, and wanting we are to get the outcome or create the outcome that we truly want, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So it's a signal for us to stop and asking ourselves, and why is this happen? Am I going to the wrong direction? Am I going to the right direction? Or I am going to the wrong direction? And when you listen to this video, I really want you to think about those moments. Like, what happened with this moment in your life when you work very hard, you really want it, but despite how much hard work you are, the outcome is just no longer serving you. It doesn't create what you truly want. In my case, I can recall vividly the 3 different occasions in my life. And the one, I think that started my journey of transformation when I was 24. And all I wanted, or all my parents wanted from me, is to find somebody to get married. And I was being so dedicated in that journey to find somebody to settle down. But I wasn't succeed, and I experienced tremendous heartbreak and pain from the relationship. And for months and months, I was experiencing from the depressions, and I could not sleep. I could not have a good night's sleep, and I experienced so much anxiety, self-hatred, and depressions. And none of that would really helping me to get where I want to be. And those moments are the moments of requiring me to really asking myself a bigger question. Am I going to the wrong direction, or am I going to the right direction? There must be something that I do not know. Why all of this happened to me? What is it trying to tell me? What is it trying to tell me about me? And I remember I have some sense of surrender because I got in my body that I could not continue doing like this. Because if I continue trying to find somebody and get married, and this is what I get after like so many years trying to find solution, then I could not see how can I live like this for my future. And at that moment, I was praying to the universe, like, please give me some idea. Please give me some sign. How can I change my life? How can I turn around my life? Because I really want to have a beautiful family. But how can I do it? And I remember having a conversation with my best friend at the time. And for so many years, I wanted to study English, but I didn't have a dedication and passion and reason, a strong why to study English. And I was talking to her, and I said, how can I address this challenge? How can I study English so that I can change the company, I can work for international company? And she told me, remember when you was in high school, you are one of the top students. You work so hard, you study so hard, and we study so many subjects at a time. So now I believe if you have an opportunity to study full-time and just focus in study English, I believe you can do it. And you can study enough English to apply for the job for international company and for work for them. Yes, she's right. Exactly. She's so right. Because if when I was in high school, I studied multiple subjects and I was one of the top students, and now I only have one subject, that is English, absolutely I can do it. But how can I do it when I have a full-time job? At that time, I still work for a corporate as an accountant. I don't know how can I bring up this conversation. I don't know how can I tell my father that I want to quit my job and start English and start my life all over again. I did not know how he would receive this. I did not know if he gonna give me permission to do so. But because the sense of surrender, that I know what I'm doing, what my parents told me to do, and I was dedicated student to doing that no longer working, and I was suffering from depression. So I must change, because if I suffer from depression, my parents cannot suffer it for me. I was the one suffering. I was the one experiencing the depression, the negativity. So I decide, regardless how much my father or my parents gonna react to my decision, I decide to take back power, to take back control for my life, to take responsibility for my life. And I said, I am going to make the decision, and I am going to bear the consequences of my decision. So that is a story I want to share with you, because in that moment of doing everything I can, giving my best, but it's not working, require me to take a step back, to stop and to ask bigger question to the universe and say, what do I need to do? What do I need to change? Can you please give me some idea? And that led me to study English, and 1.5 years later, I moved to UK, study my master degree, and I live in UK since then. So can you please reflect and let me know, what is the moment in your life, the event in your life require you to stop and require you to take a detour for your life, because whatever you do before, that's no longer working. And I want to share with you the acronym I create for the word surrender. And we all can benefit from it. We all can learn from it. We all can apply and reflect in our own journey. And I hope that this acronym gonna be a reminder for you whenever you encounter that in your life, despite how much hard work you are, that doesn't create the outcome you want. There is a moment for you to give yourself permission to stop, to surrender to the universe, and asking for new idea, asking for new direction. So what is the acronym of surrender? I write in here, and I hope you can see it, and it might be in the reverse, but I'm going to explain to you. Okay, so the first S is you can see self-trust. Self-trust is to trusting your own ability, that you can do it, that you can handle it. It's a moment of you building the trusting in yourself, trusting in your own decision. Even you step into the unknown, because whatever we're doing no longer working, it's going to require us to step into the unknown and trust in yourself that you can do it. You can do it. You can trust your own ability to navigate through the uncertainty, navigate through the unknown. That's the first letter S. The second one is U. It's universe. U stand for universe. So I already mentioned a couple of times, like when we decide I'm going to surrender to the universe, that trusting the universe gonna be able to give you the guidance, give you some directions, give you an idea that your current capacity cannot think of. Trusting the universe that this happen for the better of you, for the better of your future. You would be the one to execute and to trust in yourself to do it. So that's the letter U. The next letter is R. So R stands for relax. And what I mean by relax is, even when we face adversity, when we face uncertainty, it's easy to be panicked because we could lose control. And when we lose control, we tend to be panic, we tend to grabbing and want to take control back, and that is our human nature. But what I mean by relax is to trusting that everything will be okay. That even now you might not see the way to get out, or you might not see the light at the end of the tunnel or the light inside the tunnel. Just relax that this is temporary, number one, and everything will work out for the best of you. So have that sense of relax, that this is not gonna last forever, it's gonna work out for the best of me. Having that sense of ease, having that faith in the universe, in yourself, in this event happen, will allow you to move through the adversity, the challenge with grace and with gratitude and love. So that's the third letter, relax. The next one, the next R, is reassess. So reassess. So maybe when we surrender in the moment, there are certain priority in our life that is worth the priority before, but now no longer the priority fast, and now the new priority coming. So in my previous story, I already said, before I surrender and before I decided I am going to quit my job to study English full-time, finding somebody to get married was my top priority. And I wasn't ready because I didn't know who I was. I was just kind of give away my power. And I was looking for somebody to save my life, and that not going to be a recipe for happiness, for sustainability, and for long-lasting relationship. So I wasn't ready. So now I decided to focus on studying English, to invest in myself, to level up my own capability so that I can take back the control for my life. And now my priority, that time when I changed it, the priority now is focusing on studying English, and that is my top priority. So what I really mean is, yes, when we take the detour, when we in the transition of our life, there are certain priority in the past that no longer in alignment with where we want to go. And now we have a new priority. So take a step back, reassess what is a priority for me at this moment. What is a priority for me in this chapter of my life? Okay? And we can reassess again in the future when the time to change. Just be open-minded and be open to receive the sign, the guidance from the universe, and trust everything will work out for you. The next letter is E, embrace. Truly embrace it. For whatever happened, challenging, adversity, setback, embrace, fully embrace it. And what I mean by embrace, not only embrace when we have success, when we have accomplishments or achievements, but also embrace our failure, our insecurity, our imperfection. Embrace the messiness of that situation giving us to us. I remember my biggest embrace when I faced the wedding cancellation in 2022. And I was so blessed. I was so blessed because I already doing a lot of healing in my journey. I already in my coaching journey, and I learned so much, and I have so much awareness, deep awareness about human behavior. So in that moment when I received the news from my ex, and he said he doesn't believe it's going to be a good idea to move ahead for the wedding. So it's better to cancel right now rather than going ahead for the wedding and be miserable in our marriage. So in that moment, despite I was heartbreak, despite my heart was smashed into pieces, I decided I'm gonna embrace it. I'm going to embrace it fully because it's already happened. It's already happened. The reality here that he decided to not going ahead with the wedding. So regardless what meaning I put forward to that event, the reality that he decided to cancel the wedding, and I decide to embrace the reality. So many people asking me, like, how can you do it? I understand intellectually that if you can embrace, you will end the suffering. But how can you do it? How can you do it? What causing you to fully embrace in that moment so then you can move on with your life? And I reflect back to this question so much, and the difference in that moment is I make a decision. I make a decision. Number one, this event of wedding cancellation not gonna destroy me. Number one, I decide that. And number two, I believe that my life is bigger than this moment. And I have to allow myself to raise above that event, to be bigger than that event, and not suck into the victimhood and to feel sorry for myself. Because feeling sorry for myself or play a victim mentality is not gonna help me to live an empowering life. And I was on my journey of living an empowering life and take accountability for my life. And I believe deep inside is a journey of practice, self-love and self-acceptance. I already practice self-love and develop a sense of loving myself unconditionally. So anything happening and that not helping me to serve and to fulfill the purpose of loving myself unconditionally, I will find a way to change it. So the act of embracing that event fully, that is come from an act of self-love, because I love myself so much. I do not want myself to suffer. I do not want myself to wasting my energy or wasting my time on the thing that already happened. The past is already happened. If I love myself and I want myself to be happy, I want myself to have faith in my own ability to have a beautiful family, then it is to embrace it, to move on and to thriving from it, and take accountability back and learn whatever I need to learn to co-create a beautiful family in the future. That if you can encounter anything happen in your life, we fully embrace it with grace, with love, with gratitude. I believe that is a key for you to live a peaceful life, the key for you to live a meaningful life, and a key for you to live an empowering life. So next word is a newness. Newness in here is to access what news in here. Being excited about the new lesson, the new awareness I have from this sense of surrender. So as I mentioned about my story of wedding cancellation, the newness for me is to discover what did I do? What did I do to contribute for this outcome? And what do I need to change to become a woman capable of co-creating and attracting a partner so that she can co-create a beautiful family. And I was excited to access the wisdom. I was excited to access the newness of my new awareness, of the new lessons. So I become a new version, a new evolution of Anna. And I love it so much. Next letter is the letter D. The letter D is the word stand for destiny. what destiny means. What I really mean by destiny is to believe this meant to happen. You just have faith, or you just trust this meant to happen. This happened for the reason. This happened for the better of me. This happened for the better future of me. And and that also gonna helping you to embrace and to accept it. So don't, whenever it's happened, even you don't understand in that moment, if you can practice the sense of understanding that yes, it's meant to be, it's meant to happen, because I believe the universe have a bigger plan for me, that will allow you to embrace it fully and to accept it and move on with your life. Excellent. The next word is E, and E stands for empowerment. Empowerment, to my own definition, is to take accountability for our own thought, for our emotion, for our actions. So if you want to live an empowering life, if you want to take a power back for yourself, that we need to take accountability for our own part. In any interaction, in any situation, we also contribute for that outcome. It's so easy to point the finger on other person, to blame my ex, like you betray me, right? It's so easy to do that, and it's so tempting to do that. But if I want to truly live an empowering life, by blaming him, it doesn't help me to fulfill this mission and have an awareness of where you want to be in your life. I want to live an empowering life that will require you to take accountability for your thought, for your emotion, and for your action. The final word in here is R, and R stands for reconnect. And what I mean by reconnect with our true self, with who we truly are. If everything happens so smoothly, we have so many roles to play in our life. For me, it's a role of being an employee, being an entrepreneur, being a coach, a daughter, a sister, a citizen, a teacher, a partner. We have so many roles to show up for others. But how about showing up for ourselves? How showing up for ourselves? Showing up for the truest version of ourselves. And that requires the space. That requires intention to give ourselves space to reconnect who I am, who I truly am, and asking a deeper question. What is it event, what is it situation teaching me or showing me about who I am? What I have learned from the wisdom that the external world is a reflection of our internal world. So whenever I feel, in particular, the negative triggers, like negative emotion, like anger, frustration, like defensive, being defensive because somebody gave me the feedback that I didn't like in that moment, then I say, what is it teaching me about me? What is trying to tell me about me? Why I react like that? Why did this happen to me? Because if I take accountability for my own thought, emotion, and decision, then nobody can make me to feel a certain way without my own permission. So I have that curiosity. I have a sense of curiosity about my own behavior, and cultivate the time and space to reconnect with myself and to asking this question, like who I am. What is it trying to tell me about me? And by cultivate the sense of connection with who you are, the sense of self-discovery, you get to know yourself deeper and deeper every single day. And I truly believe at the end of my life, or at the end of our life, what we want to know is to truly know that we can live a life that we're capable of living, that we be able to express who we are to the world, to others, right? That's the meaning of living. So I am going to repeat again the acronym for the word surrender. S stands for self-trust, U stands for universe, R stands for relax, another R, reassess, E, embrace, N, newness, D, destiny, E, empowerment, and finally R, reconnect with ourselves. Thank you so much if you still listen to this moment. You are so dedicated, and I am so grateful that you taking the time, you listen to me. And you can tell me, I appreciate you can tell me, what is the word surrender what is the word surrender standing or meaning to you, have a meaning to you? And reflect back in your life. Which moment in your life that you have decided to surrender to the universe, or you can call it God, to your higher self, and to change, to take a detour for your life, because whatever you're doing are no longer serving you. I appreciate if you can share that in a comment, and I am so excited to listen, to looking forward to your story. Thank you for listening, and I am looking forward to talking to you again.